Hello everybody, welcome back to another Expeditions Guide. Today we're taking a look at Idle Hours. This is a task in the East Beskids region. This task is unlocked after completing What's Behind the Door, and with good reason, because we need to go to the island. So, we're starting at the task pickup location, which is right over here. And as you can see, over on the island is where we need to go. The best way to get there is through the cave. So, our first step of the journey is to get to the cave. So that is what we're going to do first. And once we get to the cave, we'll explain more. And once we get out of the cave, I'll explain even more. So, we're going to be using the SIRO 72 for this task. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, the first thing we need to do is head right on up the hill here. Got to make our way over to the cave. So, we're going to climb over all these rocks here. And right up the hill for our first step of the journey. I do have with me some anchors, and if you have any questions about my vehicle loadout, you will find that in the description below. The reason I have anchors, we're probably going to need them in the cave just to save some frustrations. And I'll explain more when we get to that spot. So, for now, welcome to the cave. Let's go ahead, head into the cave, and I'll tell you more about where we're going. Alright, welcome everybody to the cave. Let's take a look at what we're going to be doing. So this is the cave entrance, and that is the cave exit. So we're going to follow this path through this chamber, and then we're just going to follow this tunnel around through this chamber, and we're just going to keep following this tunnel all the way over to the exit. Now when we get to the just before the exit, that's where we're going to be putting an anchor down. So I will show you that when we get there, but for now, let's go ahead and drive on through the cave. So the first thing we're going to do is head right on through this archway. And we're going to head right on up around this rock pillar. And then we're going to head right underneath a second archway here. Go right on in between these rocks here. It's kind of hard to see with the way the camera kind of bugs out on the arches, but then we're going to head right on up over these rocks here. And make our way through the next stone archway here. And from here we're just going to follow this tunnel all the way down to the end, where it opens up into another chamber, where we have an intersection to choose another tunnel. So right on down through here, this one is kind of tricky. There's a lot of left, right with all the rocks here. So we're just going to carefully navigate over all these rocks, make our way through the tunnel. Alright, this is going to take us to the next chamber. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go right on the right side here, go right across the rocks, head up through here, and this is a tricky spot here. We're just going to head right on over the rocks here, kind of get your tires up on that rock on the right side and turn it to the left. And from here we're going to follow the tunnel. And right on through this big room here, we're going to make our way over towards where the yellow mushrooms are. And we're going to head right on down into the water here. And we're just going to cross right over here by these purple mushrooms. Right over here, we're going to go up the stone steps. Taking a lot of damage here. Let's go ahead and just patch that up. feel like I always just take a whole bunch of damage driving through these caves with all the rocks and stuff. But once you get through the archway, we're going to head to the left here and follow this tunnel, which is going to take us right over to the exit. Head on to the right through another stone archway. And that is going to get us to some stairs. So, what I was talking about with the anchor, these stairs are kind of tricky. So if you're having troubles with it, the easiest thing to do is just put an anchor down. So right here, we'll go ahead and slap an anchor down. And that'll just allow you to pull yourself right up over the stairs. Anyway, from here, we're going to go ahead and exit the cave. Alright everybody, welcome to the exit of the cave. We are now on the central island, so let's talk about where we're going. So the first thing we need to do is head on down the mountain, and then we're going to hug the mountain all the way around through the ruined village, and make our way down to this tip of the island here, where we're going to do some scanning. I'll talk more about the scanning when we get there, but for now, let's go ahead and make our way over there. So this part is going to be kind of low and slow. We do have to go through a pretty nasty field of snow here on our way down. So what we're going to do is just put this thing in low plus and just make our way through the snow. It's going to be kind of slow going. We can use these trees to kind of speed things up a little bit using the winch. And what we're going to do is go right for that gap in between the trees there. Just using the winch here to get a little bit of extra oomph through the snow. And right on through here. Alright, we are out. Okay, so now the next part is to make our way over to the village. So we're just going to navigate. This is kind of tricky. There's a lot of rocks and crevices and things like that. So we're just going to go nice and easy over all these divots in the ground just to get over to where we're trying to go. And from here, we're going to head up to the left through the trees. Right on over these rocks here. And there we go. That was the worst of the journey. So from here, we're going to go right underneath the stone archway here. And we're just going to follow the stone path through the village. We're just going to make our way all the way down to the end here, and right up through this gap, we're going to climb up the hill. And we're just going to keep climbing this hill. And then we're going to head on down to our scanning location. Alright, once we get to the scanning location, we need to go find some objects in the water. So what we're looking for is actually these big boulders right here. So that'll be your first boulder. And this will be your second boulder. All you got to do is scan the rocks. That'll complete the scanning. And there you go. That is going to complete Idle Hours. I hope you guys enjoyed this guide. Let me know what you think, and until next time, see you in the wilds. Bye-bye.